command control. I'm gonna sound off. On a revolution with the breath of my lungs. Sound off. Sound off.
What's up, everybody? Hey, you guys are live watching Sound Off on Take on the World TV. Tonight, we are going to be going through the top 20 Rapzilla Christian rappers of all time. We're going to be remixing that list. But tonight, we got a special guest in the house. We were supposed to have two, but we got one for sure. And so I'm going to introduce you to this man right now. And if you don't know who this is already, it's our friend George Moss. What is?
Oh, muted.
We've been through it all, had some up and downs, had some up.
He was muted, but we kept him going.
Yeah.
I had no idea that I was a special guest tonight. I thought we were all just chilling. This is
Yeah, you are a special guest. We are just chilling. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We got George for a short time tonight, folks. So if you guys don't know George Moss, George, tell everybody where they can find you, and kind of who you are, and just really quick, like 10 seconds. Go ahead, let everybody know.
You know, I'm a Christian hip hop artist turned musician, aka musicianary. My goal is just to go out and let this world know what the gospel is. I've been doing music for 20 plus years. Still touring, doing a lot of events, but you know, I've done big stages, small stages, everything in between. But my goal is not the stage. My goal is to see people coming to know who the Father is. So that's who I am. Nobody special. I'm just here, man. Just here.
Right. Well, I was joking before the show, is that we have some criteria for tonight's episode, and hey guys, we are joined by Josh Laurie. Josh, what is up? We haven't had Josh in the house in a long time. Here we go. Oh, and do we lose you again, George?
No, I'm here.
No.
Okay, great. So awesome. Well, I was saying in the right before the show is that George hits the qualifications for this. So you know what? Maybe we can make a pitch to put George in this list. Maybe not. He doesn't think he is, but I think he actually is. In my mind, he's one of these guys.
Not even close.
Yeah. So, well, we are going to get right to it. Welcome, everybody, if you guys are just joining us. But we are going to talk a little bit about this list that was put out 7 years ago. It was the top 20 Christian rappers of all time list. And it caused a lot of debate, a lot of discussion about 7 years ago. So we are revisiting this topic, and we're going to remix it tonight. We're going to be like hip hop artists, and we're going to remix this. We're going to get a rapper on this track, which we did, which is George, and we're gonna really remix this thing up. So tonight's criteria based on the artist is their impact on Christian hip hop, or even if they've had an impact on mainstream hip hop, their ministry impact, skill, and at least 10 years of making music, whether that be on labels or independent. But as long as they've been around for like 10 years and people kind of knew who they were for 10 years, that's kind of our list right now. And maybe, you know what, in 7 years we could do it again. But here is the rules for tonight. So keep these rules. We're going to go through each of the 20 artists that Rapzilla came out with. And really quick, Rapzilla had a judge panel of all sorts of different people from all different types of hip hop, and they disagreed more than they agreed, which is probably going to happen tonight. And then they settled on this list on everything that they agreed and disagreed on, and ultimately somewhat came up with an agreeable list.
And for clarification, that Rapzilla list, that was based on skill, correct? Is that how they judged it?
Yes, that was based on skill. So we're going to do it a little different. And tonight we can keep the artist that they chose. We can change their position, and we can remove an artist altogether and put somebody else on that list. So without further ado, if you have not seen the list, this is that list. Go ahead and take a second and study it, because don't add somebody to the list that you take off that's already on the list. And if you guys are in the chat room and you guys want to, help us out and throw something under there, you can do that as well. But yeah, so what do you guys think? We're going to start with number 20.
I think Red Cloud needs to go.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, you don't know anything about music, so thanks for coming out.
Johnny, why is Red Cloud staying on the list?
Dude, he was so good. I mean, he's still so good. I mean, granted, he doesn't do it for Jesus anymore, but he was, oh, man. Just, the guy could flow. He was, he's on the list. Number 20. Keep him there.
So,
I would second Robbie in the aspect of Jeremiah Dirt ain't on there, and there would be no Red Cloud without Jeremiah Dirt.
and what video is Red Cloud in of Dirt's? Is that the Shanghai Burning?
Yeah, Shanghai Burning.
Yeah, so if you guys go check out Shanghai Burning by Jeremiah Dirt, which he's not here, and he's dissing us tonight, like a diss track should with a rapper. So there we had it. And that is Red Cloud on the hook on that track. So in the video. So you guys can go see Red Cloud, of course.
Actually, you know what? Red Cloud isn't even on that song. He's just in the video.
Correct. He's just in the video. He's on the hook in the
That's
video.
how good he is. Doesn't even have to show up.
All right. Come on. What do you think,
There's
George?
so many artists that encapsulate it. I mean, if you look at this list, there's probably like at least 10 of these that don't even deserve to be in here based on that new criteria, in my opinion.
We're only on 20 , Robbie.
We're only
I
on
know. So Red Cloud staying or going? What do you think, Josh? What do you think, George?
I mean, I remember doing shows with Red Cloud way back in the day. Like when I first started doing shows, I think we did some Indian reservations and things like that with Red Cloud way back in the day. But I guess it depends on the criteria that we're talking about here. So we got to really solidify the criteria that we're saying who deserves to be on this list.
So let's go back to the criteria real quick, just to run through it, Chris, before we can
Yeah, let's go back through that.
run
criteria.
back, just because, again, it's impact on the ministry, the mainstream impact on Christian hip hop, skill, minimum 10 years. I mean, he's got like there's skill there for sure, but would you say there's like a huge impact on the Christian hip hop?
I just want to say, well, yes, because he was on doing reserves, and it's kind of what Fresh Eye was doing in Canada.
Yeah,
he was doing it in different reserves across the U.S., and he was influential in those who were indigenous. And on top of that, holds a world record for freestyling for 18 hours straight. If you don't think that that's skill, come on, give him 20.
Mumbling is not freestyling.
Keep in mind, there's going to be like a whole host of new names that probably deserve to be in here. A lot of us are going to agree. So, I mean, we're going to have this problem running down. I mean, we're not going to get rid of Lecrae. We're not going to get rid of a lot of these.
Yeah, George. What do you say on that?
Yeah, what do you think, George?
I don't know. I haven't kept up on the latest Red Cloud news. You said, is he still? He's not
a believer.
Not a believer anymore.
Let me say this. He doesn't even want to be on this list. Let me say that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be on the list.
How about we
he'd fight
Red
for getting
Cloud on
kicked
the
off.
side?
This was a post by Red Cloud. This is his Instagram page. Okay. This is what he said, and this was last year. He said, if you were born in Israel, you'd probably be Jewish. If you were born in Saudi Arabia, you'd probably be Muslim. If you were born in India, you'd probably be Hindu. Just because you were born in North America, you're probably a Christian. Your faith is not inspired by some divine constant truth. It's simple geography. Then he writes, isn't that interesting how the religion you were born into is the right one and everyone else got it wrong? Freedom from religion. And he goes even into debate with a couple people on this list who are defending the faith. Red Cloud don't want to be on this list. Well, I'm cutting him on that premise alone because his impact is pretty much gone, in Christian hip hop.
I would say that knowing Red Cloud back when Red Cloud was who he was, I wouldn't cut him for that, but I would just say that there's many more better MCs out there that should be on this list.
Lots.
And he's not one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh.
I agree with what Doug said. Like,
okay, George, you cutting him or
what? Even when it wasn't my cup of tea when he was doing CHH, but like that's a personal preference. I didn't really know his music all that well or not, but the race is given to those that endure to the end, and if you're not enduring to the end, then you don't make the list. That's just what it is. So
Yeah.
I say no.
All right.
Okay, so Johnny, you got outweighed.
Apparently,
Who are we adding? Because
Manifest.
Manifest.
Yeah. That Johnny and I, we're going with Manifest. He's got to make the
he's
list. He's got to be
Canadian.
number 20. Yeah, but he's huge. He's got multiple albums. He's been around for a long time.
He
massive.
represents Canada.
You have to represent Canada in there. You got to give at least one Canadian.
Johnny, do you have a pen and paper?
I do.
Okay, so go ahead and write Manifest down. There we go.
That's our pick for number 20.
That's your pick. Who else is nominating Manifest?
I can see how Manifest will be on this list. Not because he's from Canada. This is not a Canadian.
We're just Canadian. We're just teasing. Yeah.
But I could see not only for his music, but his impact that he's had on the industry and on so many other artists, and like what he's doing now with his coaching programs and things like that, teaching new rappers the game and things like that. I think he definitely is one of those that has made an impact. So I can make a case for him. I don't know how
He's
out.
adaptable. Different
he's in the
styles. Yeah.
I respect Manifest grind. That dude works hard, so
He does.
I give it to Manifest.
Okay, all right. We can add Manifest. I'm okay with that.
That was an easy one. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I'm glad Red Cloud's gone then.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna go to number 19, Jafia Life. Beat Mart Records is when he really broke through. He was really an independent rapper in the streets of Philadelphia. Pages of Life is kind of an underground classic. I mean, Jafia, he's like a Tupac. I mean, he raps like Tupac, like in all senses of the state. And he is still probably one of the strongest believers in Christian hip hop to this day. But his impact to me, I mean, if we're judging it on all of that, I mean, skill was there, all those things. So I'm on the teetering fence of cutting Jafia Life from this list. But he's one of those. He's one of the greats, though, for sure.
I don't even remember him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nor do I.
yeah, I don't know his stuff at all.
He had one good album. No disrespect.
Well, you probably didn't hear Pages of Life because that's really his greatest work of art, no doubt.
I
got
would
pressed on
say,
vinyl. It was great. It was indie. It was definitely indie.
I would say cut him and Petty.
I'll be Petty D.
Okay, well, George, what do you say? Cut, keep. Did George freeze on us?
I think George froze on us and he's muted.
He is so angry right now.
George froze on us. George is frozen.
It's Doug. It's interesting you said that because I created my own list just so that I could kind of see, and I had him at 18.
Well, I mean, Petty had a huge following.
Okay.
And a huge impact, and he's not my cup of tea, but he definitely had.
If we're putting George, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm back now. I'm back.
Okay, let me go ahead and get rid of your other. We don't need double George in this one.
That's cool having double George.
Everybody needs a double George.
Let me go ahead and remove that. All right. Okay, Jafia Life. Are you cutting or keeping?
Yeah, I would say keep Jafia. He was definitely an impactful artist on my personal career when I was coming up at the very beginning. Yeah, definitely, I would say keep Jafia on there.
Okay, so there's two. So I would say he's a keeper. George says he's a keeper, and then I think everybody else is saying he gets the X. So the majority wins, but everybody's nominating Petty, and I'm going. I'm going. Are you going Petty or you are?
Well, the thing is, there's so many other artists that I'm thinking of now that should be on this list, and there's some people on here that honestly I just don't even know.
Right.
No diss to them. I don't know them.
Join the party.
I guess I'm the only one who knows them all, so that's okay.
So
The good friends with Rapzilla, maybe.
No, no,
Yeah, I'm
no.
just-
These,
I know, I'm
These are-
teasing. I know, based on skill, but a lot of us don't even really know these names.
Yeah, based on skill, but also based on like just real impact and like, Christian hip hop. The purpose of it is to, to bring glory to God and to bring people into the kingdom. And like honestly, some of these guys that were coming up, they came up in an era that was different. Like I came up in an era that's way different than it is now. Like we built it on. There was no Instagram. There was no social media. There wasn't even GPS when I was touring. Like we had real maps, like going across the country. So like this is, I mean, where it's hard to do this like the greatest of all time, as far as impact, because artists like Jafia Life didn't have the tools, the same tools that Lecrae had, or that Lecrae has now, or Andy Mineo has now. But at the same time, maybe if they had, maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't. I do think that like people like Lecrae and Andy Mineo that definitely should stay on the list. The Truth definitely stay on the list. They're built on the backs of people like the Ambassador, Timothy Brindle, these guys that, Jafia Life. I think they're built on the backs of them. So it's hard to put them in a greatest of all time list. So this is not going to be a definitive thing. I can see
it's tough. It's tough because there's so many other names that aren't here. I mean, we were going through it. Johnny and I were like, wow, there's just a ton of names that we can think of already. Like T-Bone's not even in this list. How can you not have T-Bone in here?
Hey, you get you.
Whoa.
Nominate
Yeah,
one.
but
The rat.
My point is,
out first.
I agree where we're looking at this list, but there, again, there's a lot of other names that deserve to be in here. So it's going to be easier to cut these names. Think of it as like you're not cutting someone, you're making room for someone that should probably be more worthy to be in this list.
Okay.
It's
I feel like we got to throw out a bunch of people to see, hey, just bringing them on my team. You got to bring out a bunch of people. Like I'm surprised KB is not on here. Like how's KB
exactly. There's a lot of names in here. That's what I'm saying. It's hard looking at this list because we don't have them cut out already. So we're all like, oh, should we cut this person? It's like we got to make a room for a ton of people in this list.
Yeah.
You're missing Stephen Wiley.
Hold on. Are we? So we're cutting Jafia Life. Okay. I think it was 4 people to 2. Okay. And are we adding Petty? Hands up for Petty. Who's got Petty? I'm not. 1, 2. Okay. I'm nominating. Okay. So George. Okay. So we're almost split here. I'm nominating Bonafide or Coffee from Grits right now at number 19. Okay, so
I'll go for Petty then to like make it the win on that one.
Okay, so you're going. So okay, so you're putting
the Grits. Come on.
Okay, so I'm just saying.
This comes as a package.
Okay, so let's put Grits on that package. Okay.
Well, what about Note Verbs?
Okay, so we could put it's right. It's now Grits. We can just put Grits. Well, I'm overruling and saying we can add groups here. So if we want to add duos, not whole groups, so we can't be like D Space 5 Tunnel Rats. We just got to say groups, like two duos. A duo can count as one. So I'm gonna go Grits or Petty. What are we doing?
Well, then I would go Grits.
But why does it have to be now?
Well, we can nominate Petty later. And
he ain't gonna be later.
Right.
He won't be later. There's no way he's going to be later. There's so many names on this list. Guys, there's at least 10 names on here that all of us probably are looking at, and they're not on this list. So we
should have started at 1.
Okay,
we really should have.
I'm okay with Petty if that's what we want to do.
So wait a minute. Do you guys want to start from 1?
I think we should. This is going to be a mess if we go down 2019. If we start, it'll be easier. It will go faster if we go from like 1, 2, 3. We'll all come in agreement real fast, I think. This is going to be tough because we don't have like a list.
Okay. All right. Robbie's switching it up on us. Number 1, Soup the Chemist. He stays.
I say stay.
Stays.
You mean stays at number 1?
Stays at number 1.
Stays on the list?
No.
Stays at number 1.
Stays at number 1. I mean,
number 1. Bro, I just don't know him. I just don't know Soup the Chemist. I can't name one.
Right?
How do you not know Soup the Chemist?
No, man. Number 1.
No, not number 1.
No.
On the list, yes. Not number 1.
Yeah, no.
But see, he had the biggest impact on Christian hip hop. He was like the first, besides Stephen Wiley.
Well,
and he's still doing stuff.
Very well, maybe, but it's like again, I think I can definitely. I've heard the name Soup the Chemist a long time, and I'm pretty sure like everyone has built built their career on the back of someone like him. But I just don't see, if you were to say that name to someone, if you were to say hear his actual songs and his actual music.
What year was his first album?
What
year was his first album?
I want to say, was it 89, Chris?
89 or 88. I think it was 89 though.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I didn't think that he was in it
Well,
that long.
FFC.
Because I remember him being on the 7 Balls. Someone signed these guys.
Yeah, but he was SFC.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
when
right.
was he solo?
He went solo like 99.
Yeah.
Dust. He was on on Tooth and Nail.
I'm not down with
Yeah.
number one. There's no. It can't be
The
number
whole
one. Though.
rock label started around him with Tooth and Nail.
Yeah.
In 2000.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Keep in mind, in that criteria, you've also got mainstream. You've got all these different things. So it's like it's really hard to just sum it up.
I think we're going all over the place if we're starting at number one and we don't even all agree.
Yeah, we're messed up, eh? We're not going to be able to do
I
this.
think we go back to the end of this list.
Hey, okay, I'll tell you what. How about we first disagree who should get off the list?
Okay.
Let's just vote. That'll be easier, and then we can do like a summarized new version of. We know that we've got like 9.
Why are we changing the rules like so many different times?
Well, because it's so hard when you can't see that someone's gone. You're just looking at the same list over and over again, right?
That's what Johnny's for, to write this stuff down.
Okay, so Red Cloud's gone. Manifest is there.
Yeah, or Red
Cloud.
Manifest is on the list. I mean, we can move them around at the end, but
Jose Moore, I think, shouldn't be on the list. Do you guys agree or not? Let's just start chopping ones that we don't think should be on top.
So number 18.
Jose Moore, he should definitely be on the list.
Okay, so go to number 18. Are we cut? Okay, Ahmad from 4th Avenue Jones. Who's going to make a pitch for Ahmad from 4th Avenue Jones?
I think he stays. That's one of the best voices in hip hop ever. So
ever. I mean, we're talking about back in the day. He was a mainstream artist. That was his track. That he was a one-hit wonder in the mainstream world. 4th Avenue Jones. Now, however, his impact, as great as it was, they are the best live hip hop rock band to ever do it. They got signed to Interscope Records. Goatee Records scooped him up. Toby said he came out at a live and said if there was one band he could sign, he's been drooling to sign this band as their whole lives. He finally did it, and that was 4th Avenue Jones. And when he signed them, he was ecstatic to release them. Only they did one album on there, and then Ahmad and Tina Jones got divorced, and 4th Avenue Jones was no longer. And then he was supposed to do a solo record with Syntax Records, and it had every feature up the wazoo. It was supposed to be amazing, and never happened. And the next record he drops is completely secular, dropping F words and all sorts of stuff.
Supposed to be amazing. That's a key word. Supposed to be.
No,
so he's also supposed to be on this list. And he ain't.
got done, and it's amazing, is what everybody says. But he didn't want to do Christian hip hop anymore. So,
then he should be
having
off the
said
list.
that,
That criteria.
So
He should be axed for that.
There's a case that he can be cut from this list.
So here's a question. Why don't we just go through a bunch of names that are on this list and let's decide who should go on, and then we'll know that there has to be 6 that we have to cut.
Are we cutting him? Are we going to cut Ahmad Jones for 4th Avenue Jones?
Yeah. I'm going to say cut him.
Cut him. Johnny?
Yep.
George? Cut. All right, Josh was the only one to say yes. Swoop.
I never heard of Swoop.
Okay, Swoop is George. Want to tell him about Swoop?
Swoop, there. You're
He's muted.
He's muted.
Swoop, there it is.
He's unmuted. Can't. You're muted, George. There you go.
There it goes.
Like I know who Swoop is. I'm not super familiar with the catalog of music that Swoop has made, but I know that he's had an impact on lots of people and lots of music. I can't make the case for him just because I'm not familiar. But at the same time, it's like I've heard his name so much that I could see an argument being made, but I wouldn't be the one to make the argument for it.
He is an Akron. He's an Akron guy. So he's like actually lives real close to Doug, but he's gonna get cut from this list. I'm just saying it. He hasn't had the impact that he had 7 years ago when he got put to this. Because he's got an amazing voice. He is amazing. He's done some things that have been a little iffy in regards of like Christian music, like CHH and sort of thing. So I don't think he really cares to be on this list either. So I think he gets cut right away, and I think everybody's in agreement.
Yep.
Sojourn. So here we go. We got Jafia Life cut. Ahmad. We've got to replace. We could do this later. We got Red Cloud and Jafia Life cut. Ahmad Show Baraka. We didn't talk about. Are we cutting Show Baraka from this list?
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. When he came out, he had a huge impact.
He did, but his see, I would nominate somebody like Propaganda way over Show Baraka.
I agree.
I would say that recent post of Propaganda, I wouldn't.
But we're not talking. There's certain things that can be overlooked here, right?
Why are we overlooking Sin?
Okay, George knows Propaganda well.
That's him texting right now.
Yeah.
This is perfect timing. You hear my wife is blowing my phone up. The concert is over. I got to run to the arena to go pick her up. She went to the Maverick City concert tonight. And
now, what you can do, you know what you can do, George?
What's
you know
that?
what you could do? You could come right back in on the phone and put it on your little hand and drive. Yeah, because we want to
while you're driving. Yeah,
we want to hear this Propaganda stuff.
Do it up.
Yeah. So or we could pass on that.
Hey, shout out to Prop, man. I love you, Prop. I gotta roll though. All right, guys. Thank y'all for real. I'm sorry, man. I gotta run.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You weren't kidding. He was going to be there for a short time.
They went to he went. His wife went to the Maverick City concert.
I heard it was amazing.
Yeah, you heard so.
Well, they're in Toronto. Their only Canadian date, so there was a lot of fun and excitement for that. Anyways,
okay. So we're cutting Show Baraka.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. It's gonna get a little easier here. So.
Did everyone vote? Like Johnny says out.
What
Josh,
is he doing? Is he smoking?
Yeah. And it's not a cigar like it looks like.
Okay.
He's out.
The wacky tobacco.
Okay.
It is the wacky tobacco.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get to number 15, Sojourn. Sojourn. Who knows who Sojourn is?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course, Josh knows. Josh, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who Sojourn is?
I mostly just know his one album, Sojournalism, which I think is fantastic.
It is now
Start to finish record. I know nothing else about the guy though. So.
Okay, so here's who Sojourn is. He's one of the original members of Future Shock, which was also an original members of the Tunnel Rats. So the original Tunnel Rats included Future Shock guys on their very first record, Experience. So Sojourn he's got probably one of the most like classic hip hop voices, but I'm gonna cut him from this list because simply he is lazy, because he has not produced enough music to warrant to be on this list, because
he's lazy.
Yeah, I only know that one album. I haven't seen anything else by him. So
right. I mean,
exactly.
yes,
I was gonna say that album sold huge when it came out.
It's a great record. I mean, but
are you putting somebody on the top 20 for one record?
Yeah,
right,
no.
exactly.
No, but he still had talent. He had skill. He had ministry. But I mean, I get he hasn't really done anything since that record, which was what, 2000?
No, that was like more 2010-ish.
Was it?
Maybe 7, 8.
What was Future Shock?
Future Shock mid-90s.
All of this stuff, all
late
the hip hop
2000s. Yeah.
as old to me. So
I mean, Future Shock was great. I wouldn't put them as a top. I mean, they can't overstep like we can't have grits on this list.
right, no,
Yeah, I agree. Keep grits
Okay,
on the list.
so we're cutting Sojourn.
Yep.
Okay, so this one now has brought in a lot of heat right here. So Aze Moore is Othello of
Yep.
Lightheaded. Go ahead, Johnny. Are we cutting him or what?
I would. I mean, Lightheaded was great. He did a really good feature with John Rubin. But I still don't think that he has the credentials like other artists to be in the top 20.
I agree.
He has the talent, the skill. He was part of, the whole, I would say, ending of 3MP, but he was with MG the Visionary, and he was part of that whole beginning of Uprock crew and all those peeps back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Robbie?
Yeah, no, I think he should be cut.
Josh?
Josh left.
Josh left. Josh was
There he is.
Josh, you cutting?
I don't know any of his stuff really. So
Okay,
aside from a
perfect.
couple features, so.
Wes Blaze in the chat says, I'm ashamed to say I've only heard of one of these artists.
Well, we are going to open up your eyes and ears.
Okay,
I'm sure we'll put some. I'm sure we'll put some on the list that he has heard of.
Okay, so Timothy Brindle. I don't think his impact was long enough.
I don't even know who it is.
What about Odd Thomas?
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I passed over those O's blended together. Odd Thomas, he's got to get cut. There's
Yeah.
I mean, he has
Odd
not.
Thomas,
he's
Timothy Brindle, they both need to go.
Yeah, Timothy Brindle, excellent artist on Lamp Mode Records. So really deep spiritual stuff, really good spiritual, things. He had some really classic albums. But to be honest, his impact isn't long enough for certain groups. Yes, he's going to be their cup of tea and he's going to be their everything. But I got to cut the guy. I mean, no way he comes in at number 12 all time, and even top 20. So okay, I think we've gotten rid of almost everybody out of that list.
Yep. Everybody so far is gone.
Everybody is gone. Now
Yep.
we get to number 11, which is the Ambassador. We'll start with Josh.
He's a top 10 MC for me, so I think he should be way up on the list.
Right. I'm with
So-
Josh.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, ambassador should say.
Okay. I mean, we're already overruled, Johnny, but I mean, I think, we're not going to I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Ambassador, I mean, whether it be solo stuff or cross movement, I mean,
Right.
it's too impactful.
I did not have him in my top 10. I did have him in my top 20. And so if you guys want to keep him at 11, then I am fine with keeping him at 11.
Let's keep him right there for right now.
Okay. All right.
But
Andy,
he's on the list.
now we're cracking the top 10, and then we're going to really have to start getting into debate. Andy Mineo.
Well, here, yeah, the latest stuff, the most recent stuff. This is where it's going to get really weird, right? Because he's way off, isn't he?
Yeah.
No, not really.
No.
I think you should go.
Okay, we got one vote. There's no way that I could, with the impact that he's had for as long as he's had now, because the 7 years, I mean, if you're going to have a list of 20 and two 116 artists aren't on the list.
Well, what about Trip Lee or there's other 116 artists?
I mean, exactly. Do we put Andy Mineo above Trip Lee? I would. So
I would.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy Mineo is a lock for me. Maybe not top 10, but he's a lock.
His first Heroes for Sale and Neverland were two unbelievable albums. His recent stuff, not as much, but his features on a number of tracks are pretty amazing as well. Still doing it. and over the 10 years, I had him at number 10, and I'm cool with keeping him at number 10.
Okay.
I say cut him just because I don't like him at all. I don't like him musically. I think he sucks, and I don't like him doctrinally because he's way off base.
Okay, Josh.
He's not my thing, but I have a lot of respect for the guy. I recognize the skill, definitely, but he's not my thing. So
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty indifferent if he's on or off, really.
so. We have three. So Doug, you already ruled off because we have 3 yeses.
Put him at 20.
We have a okay.
Manifest is there.
That well, no, we can move.
Manifest.
I know I'm kidding. I'm
We can
kidding.
move. We can move a lot of
I
people.
know I'm
around.
kidding. I know.
Number 9, Mr. Solo, Gospel Gangsters.
Gospel gangsters, yeah, definitely.
Gotta stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no chance of him leaving.
No.
I don't have him in the top 10, but I do have him in the top 20.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So no brainer. Okay. Next no brainer, in my opinion, is Manchild Marzil.
Stays.
Yeah, stay.
Stays.
Yeah.
Doug.
It's not even a question.
Okay. Yeah. Greg would call you and be like,
That's
"What's
easy.
up, man?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I would be getting yes.
Johnny.
I had him, yes,
Okay.
in on the list.
Do you have him top 10?
I do have him at number 9.
Number 9. Okay. Now, okay. So I think we're getting close to somebody who might get cut from the list in the top 10. Shai Lin.
Never heard of him.
Definitely not top 10.
Don't know his stuff.
Don't know. Now, okay, so Shai Lin, if you guys are listening and you're watching the playback, go listen to his music. It is probably some of the most like he is more
Theologically intense, man. It is intense lyrics.
It's intense. It's very theological. It's like a sermon.
Yeah.
Because these, Lamp Mode, a lot of those guys, they're Bible scholars. They like Hazakim, which they're more messianic hip hop. Shai Lin, Stephen the Levite, all of those guys, they're committed to the Word of God, and really never compromising their faith or even the lyrics and what they do. So I don't know if it's that impactful to what we're talking about. But I mean, if you had to pick somebody from Lamp Mode, it would be, Shai Lin.
But overall, is it in top 20? I wouldn't say that he should be in there.
I think we may have to cut him.
We'll cut him out of a top 20 list. Yeah.
Okay.
He's very talented for sure, but
okay, Doug and Josh. Okay. Okay. Now the truth.
got to keep him. I don't know where, but we need to keep him in there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. I see.
Johnny.
Yeah, I have him in the top 20,
John.
and that's the truth.
You think so? Okay. Josh.
Yeah, he stays.
Okay. Yeah, he's always been, like his recent stuff is hit or miss. When he came out at first, he was part of Cross Movement, and he was that next step of there are split offs between Lecrae and the Truth when they split from Cross Movement's discipleship and started their own things. He started a label. So he did a lot of things. He also cheated on his wife, left music for a little bit, as well as ambassador as well. So, which happened at the same time. But we're not going to hold that against anybody. Okay, so number 5 is Crumb Plato.
Has to stay.
Stay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if he's moving.
I think you'd move up, to be honest, if it was me.
Yeah.
But
Okay. All right, move up. Okay. I'm okay with that. Doug?
I would say he would be moved up. Yes.
Yeah, move up.
I had him at number 2.
Number 2. Okay.
I had him at number 2 and Manchild at number 1.
Okay. Okay. Next no-brainer is Lecrae.
Yeah.
Cut him.
I know you, not
No,
Doug's,
Lecrae definitely has to stay.
but Lecrae's impact on, he's the one that took it to this whole nother level.
Can't help it that
Even Jesus'
millennials-
music was massive. Huh?
Can't help it that millennials don't have good taste.
Josh, Lecrae,
He stays.
where are you
I'd
moving him
probably
to?
move him down on the list, but
Okay, where how low are you wanting to go?
he'd be in. I don't know.
15?
Probably somewhere around there, like
Okay.
much lower.
Yeah.
He's,
Now
he's
then
good,
again,
just not my thing.
so then again, we're going to judge it based on these criteria: impact, ministry impact. I mean, 116 ministry was huge when they were really being unashamed believers. So we have to look at that, respect that.
Until they got money.
Until he signed to a major deal, and then he went number one. Now, hey, look, Lecrae's the only artist on this chart to have a number one album, not in hip hop, but of all albums,
Oh, it's incredible.
on the U.S. Billboard charts.
Billboard number one.
Striper
Yes.
had the number one
Yeah.
hip hop record.
On this list, Doug. I said it's
I'm saying they had the number one hip hop record.
Gotta rush Striper into every episode.
Striper not on the list.
So you have to, for such a subgenre of Christian music, think about it from the 80s to the 90s. That this was the throwaway group, the token kid group, because rock metal dominated all throughout the late 80s, early 90s. Hip hop was sort of the stepchild to them, and then all of a sudden, by the time you get to Lecrae, he's the number one chart on all music worldwide. On secular charts, so this isn't Christian charts, secular charts. So he's had a major.
You have to have Lecrae in the top 20. Period.
Oh yeah.
Period.
I mean, so I'm making a case that he's somewhere top 10, but
I would agree.
Okay, so next up is Braille.
Keep.
Yeah, keep.
Okay.
I'm good to let him slide on the list.
Let him slide on the list. You definitely would move Plato up over Braille.
Yes.
Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah, there's guys I'd move up over Braille. I'd move Ambassador over Braille. But
Yeah.
So you have Ambassador at 11, and at that point we were cool with Ambassador at 11. Would you be cool with Braille at 12?
yeah, maybe. I don't know. Ambassador would be much higher on this list to me. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Journey Big.
But that's not even a question.
It's not a question, right?
Not a A for me.
Okay, so those of you who don't know who Journey Big is, he's part of LPG. He is part of the Tunnel Rats. He was getting basically kicked out of churches because he was too street for churches, and he was too church for the streets. He is probably, I mean, right there, this list shows you he is one of the greatest MCs in Christian music ever.
Well, I mean, LPG was one of the hardest groups to get your hands on their music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless growing up, unless you knew somebody in California, you really couldn't get their stuff until, trading and going to Cornerstone and finding it somewhere. So Journey's right where he should be, I think.
Okay.
I had him in the top 5. I did not have him at 2.
Okay. So, and then obviously we're all keeping Soup the Chemist.
Yeah.
So now the fun begins. Johnny, why don't you run down who's been How many spots do we have to fill?
Well, fill or move around.
Well, fill and
Phil for now. We can move around.
so let's go ahead and fill.
So
And then we'll-
20,
and then we're
20 to 12 has been cut.
20 to 12 has been cut, but we already added to that list Manifest and Pedity. Have we all agreed on Pedity or no?
I don't know.
It was-
Yeah, I think we did.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if it's Doug, you said yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's 3-2. So we got 2 spots filled. So 20 to 12 gone, and then we cut Shai Lin, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So we've got.
And we moved Braille out of the top 10
Okay, Braille is
at the moment.
At the moment, okay, 1. Okay, so we have 8 spots to fill.
8 spots.
Okay, so
Well, let's start throwing out names and then just run it down.
No, let's do it this way to make this fair.
All right.
We're gonna start with Josh, then go to Robbie, then Doug, Johnny,
All
then
right.
me. We're all gonna
All right.
nominate someone. And
Okay.
then we're gonna say yay or nay, and then we're gonna do that till we have 8 spots filled.
All right. Sounds good.
Go ahead, Josh.
I'll nominate Jeremiah Dirt.
Okay, make your case.
Dude's unbelievable. I mean, what case is to be made? The flow, lyrics.
And look at this.
Ministry.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What just happened? I just got Jeremiah Dirt. I just got home from work. I'm saying we're just nominating you right at this moment.
Okay, so here's my question.
Come on, this is like all biased, man. You're like
You
talking
guys
to
are
Jeremiah.
homies.
We're just nominating. Well, yeah, you guys are homies.
No,
You're all
listen,
biased.
listen. He sold a crap ton of records, and he did. His music was unparalleled to anybody else's in the hip hop genre when he came out, and it still is.
Yeah, but we're gonna come down to something where we're nominating Jeremiah Dirt or we're nominating Tadashi. And it's like, to me, there's just absolutely zero comparison if you get into like certain aspects of just overall knowledge.
Tadashi doesn't.
Well, Triple E. I'll just say Triple E. Like if you're going to say Triple E or Jeremiah Dirt, I'm just saying, watch.
You can't have the ambassador.
We've got 10.
You can't have Manchild without.
Okay,
having
we'll put him on the list. Put him on the list. Are we still running through it?
Well, we'll put him on. We'll put him. Hey, Johnny, put him on a not
To
fully
be debated.
nominated list.
To be debated. Yeah. Let's just do this.
To be debated. Okay, go ahead, Robbie. Pick something.
I'm going to say T-Bone.
T-Bone. No brain.
Nope.
No brainer.
I say take
straight.
T-Bone out just because T-Bone is a douche.
All right, Doug, go. Let's go because it's going to take us 8 hours to get this thing done.
I'm
we're
going to
close.
nominate.
We're still in the first hour, guys. We're doing all right.
Trust me, it's going to be tough when we start moving people around, and it's going to be
all
tough.
right.
I'm going to say Pigeon John.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with Pigeon being on the list.
Yep.
I mean, just his impact for all those years. I mean, he deserves to be on the list.
Johnny, go. We'll just rapid succession. We'll get this huge list because there's a lot.
NF.
Yeah.
10 years.
I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yes.
He
Absolutely.
qualifies. Yeah.
Hands down. Yeah.
I mean, there's no bigger artist that claims to be a Christian today. I mean, he's way bigger than Lecrae, music wise. So,
With that said, though, I don't have him in the top 10.
okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
He has to clarify.
I'm gonna
I
go.
do.
I'm gonna go a little new school, because I think their impact is also, and I'm gonna do a duo here, because I think their impact is massive, and it would have to be Social Club. It's massive, and talking with, and so here's some really cool things about Social Club. Social Club loves the music we love. So I was talking to Marty, and his dream collabs are getting Plato and Manchild on a track, even though he's been on Plato's record. They did a song with Social Club did a song with Plato. It's on his record. It's off the walls. It's great. And he wants to do a song with John Rubin, Reliant K. So he's a pretty cool guy. We got to spend some time together at the Alive Festival. So I would say they make the qualifications. I don't know if we're going to say yes or no, but I will nominate them as being on the list.
All right, Josh, down to you.
Another
Again?
one. Yeah, another one. Yeah.
Wait, what's going on?
Just name someone you think should be on the
Is
list.
there anybody that you think should be on this list?
Yeah, it's a tough call.
We can come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think anybody who's been around 10 years that I would want on there. So
KJ52 for me
that's a good one.
deserves to be on the list for Christian hip hop.
He's a biter.
He's a what?
He's a what?
He's a biter. He bites. He's made his whole career off of other artists.
Four Dove Award-winning rap albums of the year.
Yeah, he's like one of the
They also
biggest.
gave Dove Awards to the Imperials. I don't know what you guys are
And they had 25 #1 songs.
Throw it down, man. To be debated. Put it on. We'll just keep moving. Put it on the to be debated column. We'll just throw out names. Okay, Doug, throw out a name. Just don't throw out names. Huh?
John Rubin.
I thought we already did that one. Oh no, Pigeon. You said Reuben. Yeah, Reuben. Yeah.
Who did you say? Josh?
Pigeon.
Josh, did you add one?
Oh, I was just say Script would be probably he's just in on that 10-year mark. So.
Okay.
And,
that's.
But like I don't know what impact people have because I'm not like in that.
Right.
I don't pay attention to that. I just find people and listen to them. So.
John's a hard one too, by the way, Doug. That's tough. Go ahead.
Why?
Okay, go ahead, Johnny. We'll get into it.
Derek Minor.
I mean, are we going social justice warriors? George isn't here, so we could do that. George and Derek are tight. Obviously Derek's got the talent. He's been around. He's had his own label, which has been impactful.
Record label. Anomaly won album of the year. He produced it.
Yeah, he's good. Oh wow, that's really tough. I'm gonna go with an okay. So I'm gonna go. I am gonna add. I'm gonna have to add Bizzle to the list. And you guys are like, no. But I think I would have to add him to the list.
And remember, if you don't have anybody, you can pass. You don't just have to throw names out there like Bizzle.
God Over Money was such a huge movement and still is. And when his track, which was Explaining to Do with the Jay-Z expose, he deserves to be on the list just for that. And if you got, have you guys not heard that?
All right, we'll come to it. There's gonna be a whole bunch of.
Have you guys not heard it?
No.
Yeah, I like it.
You guys have not heard it. We're gonna take a 2-second break. All right. And
he's trying to sway the vote, guys. Don't fall for it.
Your boss should have told you I was coming, nigga.
All right.
LAVYFS. Yes. Let's go. Now tell me, am I the only nigga that's sick of Jay? Sick of this freaking lame? Ain't it a bucket you finna kick any minute a day? Nigga, just claim what you is. I'm hearing that you Mason, so explain. The pyramids that you sit on the stage, is it the same as what you lift when you bang the rock? Nigga, you rap. How is it that you can page Barack? Or is it that it's something that's way deeper than we can see? This in Jesus, seeing how naive people can be. Ain't it strange? He repeatedly saying he God, then he got you calling him over the name of God, Jehovah. I studied you, nigga, cause I was a fan, but I'm a fan of the Lord first, so I will be there.
All right, so
And if I'ma let you get over, twist the fan souls up.
Yeah.
Chant over for Satan soldier. Hover is what you got them yelling, but they looking to the
so when
stage
Bizzle,
instead of looking up to heaven.
when Bizzle dropped this track, he had just came out of like secular rapping, so there are definitely some some words in this one. I'm surprised you didn't hear that. I mean, so we're taking on the world TV. We went a little controversial for you guys. That Bizzle's his first music was all truth music, and so it was like exposing all the rappers. It was doing all that stuff, and then as he matured, and then he eventually became God Over Money. Obviously he doesn't use a lot of the language that he did in those first things, but I will tell you that is some of the realest music that came out back then. And I mean, how could you not like a Jay-Z diss track calling him out for his Masonic Luciferian ways? So this is Take on the World TV. We're getting a little bit conspiratorial there. So that was our little break, and I could play that and not get censored because it is not copyrighted by a label. So, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, so the kids are asleep, right? So, we just can't say that word, okay? He gets away with that. We just can't say it. And George isn't here to back me up on that.
So I only have one other person that I thought maybe to put on this list. Kanye West.
No way. No way.
No way. Yeah, I'm out. There's no way he's going on there. I'll put Toby Mac before that.
Oh yeah, sorry. That you're right.
I'd put
two.
I got Toby Mac.
Toby Mac was the other one. You're right. My apologies.
Okay, so how many nominations do we have so far? Because Grits is on that list already, right?
Yes, sir. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 nominations for the list. So if you were to cut a couple people on that list, you'd actually then have top 20.
So just so I understand though, Cannon's not going to make the top 20, and Flame won't make the top 20.
Well,
okay, let's go ahead and throw Triple E and Tadashi into that mix, right?
KB, Tadashi, Triple E, Cannon, all four of those were not put on this list.
And Flame should be.
You can put them on that. You can put them on the debate list, but
put on the debate list. Yeah,
I mean
those are just bigger names, right? They at least deserve to be debated.
So if we're gonna put John Rubin on the list, I mean, we're talking about youth group rappers. So who had more impact on youth group rapper than kids? Was it KB or John Rubin? I mean,
or KJ.
Because obviously we're missing a lot of people, right? We didn't talk about Dynamic Twins. We didn't talk about.
But how long did they last for? How long did they? I don't think they even went 10 years.
Two albums that made Billboard charts,
but they didn't even go even 10 years. Dynamic Twins didn't even go 10 years.
Okay. So what about Peace 586? Freedom of Soul, solo stuff. Michael Peace. Propaganda. I mean, I don't care what Doug showed. I mean, we can
Propaganda deserves to be on the debate list for sure.
So there's an actual MC list, and then there's the new crap list of hip hop. The stuff that's coming out today has no.
We will do the crap list next week or the next show, Doug.
We just talked about Lecrae. We talked about Andy Mineo. We talked about Social Club. Those guys would not exist without the leaders of the beginning.
Yeah, but we're not doing like the pioneers of Christian hip hop. That's a different list altogether. Matter.
They had bigger impacts than these guys.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I would beg to differ on that. As far as impact, as far as the youth now, especially social media, like George was saying, these guys didn't have social media or Instagram. These guys have got huge reach and impact.
Yeah, I mean, look, we didn't mention any of the other guys, Deep Space 5. Any of those guys, Seth Static, Freddie Bruno, they all were amazing talents as well that,
they were better as Deep Space 5.
They're better.
End Time Warriors is even here. What are we talking about here?
E-Rock.
I'm just kidding. They don't deserve to be in the list.
E-Rock was great, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, we forgot all the Grape Tree artists.
Hey, Sonny from POD, is he considered?
No.
A
So
rapper.
that was my next question. Is it just straight hip hop artists, or do you go with guys like Sonny from POD or Matt Carney, who also won a rap song of the year?
Yeah,
they've only done one or two songs. They don't. Yeah, you can't count someone that had like
Sonny's
one or
not
two
an
songs with
MC.
rap.
Sonny's
they're
a
not.
singer,
Yeah,
so he's not a rapper.
no, we
yeah,
shouldn't count
I'll
that.
tell you, Mojo from Supertones, he can spit
Dude,
fire though.
So good. I was just listening to some Supertone Strike Back today.
Nice.
So, I mean, the way that I look at if you're going to have a top 20 list, and the only two people on this list that you really could say had the biggest impact, I would say Soup and Journey. They are the originators. They were the guys digging the trenches for the other guys. And they all had, Soup, because of his stuff with SFC, sold couple 100,000 records. And in the 80s and 90s, that's huge for Christian hip hop. So you can't even go off of what even Lecrae or Andy Mineo has done versus what they did without any of the social media, without any of the marketing, without any of the radio.
So Dirt just chimed in. He's so tired he can't get on, but he wanted to nominate. I'm going to tell him, if you're listening, your nomination doesn't count, but we're gonna read it. He's nominating Eshawn Burgundy for top 20 list.
That was going to be one of my suggestions. I didn't know how long he'd been around, though.
Yeah, I mean, as great as he is, I don't know if I want to. I do really think he's he's borderline, if not already, Black Hebrew Israelite now. So at least that's how he leans. So does Derek Minor, by the way, as well. I don't think he's come out though, but there's a lot of belief system within that. I don't think Eshawn is. I mean, if
What's
you're
worse, though, really, like a Black Hebrew Israelite or someone that's woke? I'm just kidding. Let's move on.
It's a different show.
That's a different show and on a different.
Oh, that's why I said let's move on.
That's for your radio program, Robbie.
That's right. That's right.
Big shout out, Robbie. Where can they find your radio programs?
You can check it out, Revolution Radio. It's revolution.radio. If you just type that in, Studio A on Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, or just go to Celebrate Truth.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
Celebrate Truth.
You should get some of the panel on here on there. Doug, Josh, Elijah. They got
it's censorship free. You can just speak your mind.
Yeah, I mean, Josh is a former hardcore liberal turned conservative Christian. So
that'd be good.
Yeah,
good discussion. I'll have you on sometime, Josh.
Okay, so all right, Johnny, read us who we have, and let's cut that quickly.
Okay, Dirt, T-Bone the Bony Soprano, Pigeon Jimmy John the new James Bond.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it this way so that we're not backtracking. Let's just do one by one.
By the way, we're doing well, guys. We're at the hour mark. We have a full hour now to get this list.
Let's see if we can actually do it in less time tonight.
I know it would be sweet. Then we could have like a little bit of a banter before we're done the show.
Okay, so we've got Dirt. He's watching, fellas. So all right, let's talk about Dirt. Are we gonna cut Dirt from this list? I'm gonna make a case for Dirt. Okay. If you go back and you look at Dirt's legacy, from when he dropped, he was the founding member of Shadow of the Locust, which spawned a ton of other hip hop artists, which were impact, specifically on the West Coast. But obviously he got his roots started with POD, was on a couple POD tracks, some of the biggest tracks, Breathe Babylon. He was on KJ52 stuff, this Sons of Intellect. You can see Dirt, riding around in the car in the video. Dirt was grimy. He was something that Christian hip hop had never seen. He was he was dirty, right? It, obviously his name is Dirt, but there was a factor to him that was different, where he would have been bigger, but youth groups and churches didn't know what to do with him. So it was mostly why he did shows with punk rock artists, rock crowds, why he shined at places like Cornerstone, and why he still to this day, you go look at audio feed, there's very few hip hop artists on the plate. They got Propaganda, they got Jeremiah Dirt, and a handful of others. He's still one of the big hip hop artists they still bring in. So he's got that that independent Christian crowd that appeals to him from the punk rock, the metal scene. That's the hip hop that they like, because it's like Wu-Tang Clan style, very grungy, very dirty. It's not boom bap hip hop like Manchild, Plato. It's just raw, authentic, and spiritual. I mean, if you look at what he's dropped recently from the spiritual standpoint side, his last album was a whole spiritual warfare album put out through the Black. He's a conference speaker and presenter at one of the best conferences in the world called Take on the World Conference. I mean, I'm making a pitch for him. And so now you guys, have to make that decision. Are we going to leave him on that list, or are we just playing nepotism because he is a good friend?
Chris?
I was a fan way, way long before I met the guy. So,
and Josh, you were one of those guys in the, that punk, that rock metal scene. Did everything I say, was that accurate? Because you were one of those West Coast dudes. How were those crowds? How did the crowds respond to Dirt's performances?
They loved them. If you get the Live at Cornerstone album too, from what was that, 2000?
I think it was 2002.
I think so. That's a great live record, and you can hear the crowd reaction on that. So.
I would say, having known Dirt probably the longest and had followed his career from the beginning almost, that POD wouldn't have been signed to Atlantic Records had it not been for Breathe Babylon. That was the song that they actually really, really loved. And I'd say that no other Christian hip hop artist had the impact on the music scene like he has, because of the griminess and all of the other things that he fell in place with. I mean, not only was he on POD's record, he was on Nailed Promises record. He was on, he worked with the guys from No Innocent Victim. He's worked with almost all of the hardcore metal bands from back in the day. And he had one of the biggest album releases in the underground market, being on Rescue Records when it came out with Plague. So you have my vote. And we can keep him at 20. That's not an issue, but he has to be on this list.
Okay, Rob.
Here's the two questions that I have. And I mean, Journey Big had a bunch of issues in getting play, but I know who he is and I have his album. And it wasn't until this show that I had a chance to meet Dirt. I don't know his stuff. And if you want to fire me off an album, or I'm more than willing to listen to it. And I'm super excited to hear, the past that you guys talk about him and his ministry. But I mean, if you want to go a 20 and a 20A to get him on the list, I'm cool with it. But I mean, I don't. The stories are great, and it sounds amazing, and the impact that he has. But I can't vote for someone that I don't know.
Robbie?
Well, there's like 3 already, so it's already a done deal.
I just made a pitch. I didn't say anything. I made a pitch.
Doug's saying yes. Josh saying yes. You're saying yes. So therefore,
oh no, I made a pitch. I haven't made up my mind yet, because obviously I got to look at the rest of that. Well,
for me, from like a non-biased standpoint, again, I'm not familiar. I'd be where Johnny's at. I can't really vote someone I'm not familiar with that you know, the impact, the past, the name, you know, obviously I know Jeremiah, obviously he's been on my show and I've listened to his music. I'm just saying, as far as scope and scale, as far as the top 20, we're going to have to, in my opinion, I'm going to have to cut someone to put Jeremiah in. But like I said,
okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to revisit Dirt later because he's going to be one that we're going to talk. Okay, so just hold him. Let's move to the next one and see if we can cut
T-Bone the Bony Soprano.
I mean, come on. I have to keep him.
Not a chance. Yeah, it has to be on the list. Absolutely, for sure.
Josh?
I glitched out when you guys said who we talked about.
T-Bone.
If he's not saying the list, I'm actually cutting out and I'm done for the night. Just tell you that right now.
I'll leave T-Bone on. I saw T-Bone before he was signed. He's like Bay Area guy, so
yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's where I grew up around. So I
Doug, yeah. forget your personal issues, your money lost with him, the shows, those things. Just talk about
on pure ministry, pure notch in his belt for what he did in Christian music, Christian hip hop scene. I would say keep him.
Okay, he's unanimous. We keep him.
Pigeon Jimmy John, the new James Bond.
He stays in my position. Like, you know, he was my favorite. I would have put him in the top 3, but because of him walking away, not really staying engaged. I mean, the dude was at my church. Like, you know, I really like him, and I'm just gonna have to make a pitch for him to be probably closer to the end of this list, probably because he doesn't even want to be on this list, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, having been somebody that managed him, John Rubin and Dirt at the same time, I would, if it would be between Dirt and Pigeon, I would remove Pigeon.
Pigeon's impact over Dirt, I'm going to say it like this. Pigeon he collabed with everybody in every artist. I mean, no matter what it was. I mean, it could be rock. I mean, PAX 217, American Made, Rod Laver. I mean, we're talking about
but he did collab with everybody.
He collabed because they wanted him on the record. He was on all the grit stuff, the Note of Verb stuff. He was on with John. He was on with KJ. He was on with everybody. They all were like, if I could just get a Pigeon John feature on my album, and every single song he hit.
But yet he didn't have the fan base in the industry, and he didn't have the ministry ever.
Okay. Then again, so we're going by, I said in that criteria, we can cut things off. And because of those factors, he gets pushed higher up that list.
Don't forget,
you're already ruled out, Doug, so he's on the list.
LA Symphony and Root Beer.
Yeah, but okay, so I get it.
Brainwash.
I get it.
I mean, come on. I mean, he's on LPG's records. He's on. I mean, come on.
He's on Gospel
Game. With Red Cloud.
Yes.
Oh, I missed somebody on the list. I wanted to add somebody.
Go ahead, Adam.
DJ Maj.
He's not a hip hop artist. He's a DJ.
We could talk about that. Well, okay. All right. So Pigeon. We could add D-Boy to the list. Pigeon is on. Okay. So
D-Boy.
We only have 8 spots. So Pigeon's on. Okay. Next person.
NF.
He's on.
Yeah, 100%. He has to be on the list.
Okay. Social Club.
Not on the list.
Yeah.
Not in the top 20. I love the guys.
I agree.
I just don't see top 20.
I agree.
Okay.
Now
you can make a case for the next one though.
Okay.
Grits.
Stays.
Yeah.
Huge impact.
Yeah.
They before the so you look at that era, because they were the first like pop hip hop crossover, like within like hip hop for Christian music, because it was never really like super poppy, and not that Grits was super poppy. It was just they were
more marketable. It was more marketable to mainstream.
Yeah. What Goatee, because what that early stage of Goatee, DJ Maj, Grits, Note of Verbs, Grits was but Grits was the number one selling. It was coming off of T-Bone was the number one selling artist, and it moved over to Grits. So it wasn't just based on popularity. There was something special
When
about.
did Toby sign them? Like, were they on their what label were they on before they got signed with Goatee?
They weren't.
They were only on Goatee. They were background.
Oh, that's
dancers.
right.
They were background dancers for DC Talk.
That's right. So he signed them straight on. Like that was
And their first record.
I think that was a bit of a reason why they did so well, because it was one of the big signs from Goatee.
And you look at that first record, it's like jazzy hip hop.
Yeah.
And it's a classic.
Yeah.
And then you look at Factors of the Seven, classic record. Now as it goes on, they become more commercial, and then they're so now we're making a pitch. They're on Fast and the Furious. They have a remix with Talib Kweli.
We've already agreed the Grits should be on. I
Grits
think
are
we've
on.
already agreed. Yeah.
I don't disagree.
So where do they sit? Yeah.
Okay. Next up is KJ52.
I'm gonna say just for the sheer amount of albums, the number ones, just the explosion of the mainstream, what he did for that segment, bringing people into hip hop, he's instrumental. And he's kind of like the Vanilla Ice of mainstream, how big he became, the white rapper. I would say it's the same type of scenario with KJ. I mean, I met Jonah, I interviewed him and stuff, but overall, just his entire career, he's been nothing but ministry focused. He's never wavered. And honestly, I think he's had a fantastic ministry. So I would definitely say KJ deserves to be in the list somewhere.
I think he's really consistent on his releases too.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're going to get into like white rappers, there has to be a number of them, and he has to be like, if we're going to say, oh, who are the top 5 white rappers? I mean, KJ's got to be in there.
Well, we already have Plato, Manchild, Andy Mineo on the list.
I know.
NF.
Correct. And then there's 5, right? You got a KJ.
Toby.
Yeah. We would have got to Toby still. We got to make that determination. Yeah.
So here's a question. KJ or Ruben?
Ruben over KJ any day.
So KJ over the career or Ruben over one song?
I would say Ruben over. He's a better rapper. He's a better. Johnny, I mean, Robbie, you're being based off of.
No. I agree with skill level, but I'm saying sheer amount of just mainstream. If you're going to go top 20 and we're going to post this list for the world, they're going to say, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm not disagreeing at all, Doug. I'm going to go KJ on this one. So, but what do you think, Josh? Let's just vote it. If he gets voted out, he gets voted out. I'm not going to cry over it.
I kind of lean towards KJ on this one.
So there's no album sales between the two.
No idea.
I would love to figure that one out because I think John Rubin sold more records than KJ.
I don't know.
This is a tough
one. Look it up. It's a tough one. I mean, come back to it. Johnny, can you look it up real quick and see who album sales?
I would say this.
Hi, you're listening to my new LP. If you didn't buy it, then my man, listen please. No double tape, you can go to the store, and if they're sold out, tell them please get more,
Okay, if we have to pick between Ruben and KJ, so George isn't here, he would go with KJ because George Moss.
He's his hype man.
Well, yeah, right. He was his hype man. But let me say this. John Rubin's live show. There's 2 live shows that I've seen that were absolutely the best. One is Pigeon John for energy. Pigeon can't be touched. And I'll tell you that. And then the crowd participation at a early John Rubin show would.
I think John Rubin though shouldn't be cut. Here's my point though, guys.
Yeah.
John Rubin and KJ should be there. It shouldn't be an either or.
I don't know about that.
It shouldn't be an either or on those guys.
But let me say this. So when it was Alon and DJ Manny and John Rubin, the shows weren't amazing. When it was John and his rock band, the energy just dropped. Like you thought it would be better, but it was not better. And you know, even though he put out some classic albums, you know, when he was, you know, morphing into John Rubin, a little less hip hoppy, a little bit more singing, a little bit more stuff. You know, he came out with Nuisance with Reliant K, big track. But that early John Rubin stuff, I mean, super impactful. I know so many Christian.
I mean, 2003 was hip hop album of the year. 2004 rap hip hop album of the year. 2006 rap hip hop album of the year. I mean, he's got awards out the zing zang.
He does, but he was you know, KJ,
how many awards does John Rubin have?
But KJ, well, see,
I'm just saying on sheer volume. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not saying that John Rubin isn't more skilled. He is. I'm just saying on sheer numbers, he's literally got best album hip hop album of the year from 2003 to 2013.
It's a different skill.
I agree. I agree with that.
KJ's a better freestyle. KJ has his strengths. John has his. John's John. There's nobody like John.
No, that's true. It's unique. I don't think he should be cut though. I think he should still be in there somewhere.
I don't know.
Well, it's an either or. It's an either or of someone else, maybe a Flame or you know, John Rubin deserves to be in there maybe over some. But KJ, come on, it's like a staple. It's like taking a T-bone. I mean, you can't do that. Even if you don't like him.
I would say that.
Ruben and my last name is Abbott. Action packed.
I would say that the whole KJ Rubin thing.
He ministered to Eminem's ex-wife in prison. I mean, how cool is that? The guy's doing prison ministry. Sorry, I did prison ministry. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're talking about a guy that actually toured with John, that worked with John, that John screwed me over, and I'm making a huge push for this guy because I think if anybody, the top 3 MCs on this whole list should be Crumb, Manchild, and Rubin.
Okay, my point is why does it have to be an either or? Guys, why does it have to be an either or? We can have KJ and Rubin, they both stay.
Okay, well let's is KJ in?
Put him on the bubble. Put KJ.
Well, don't compare him with Rubin. Compare him with, say, KJ or Flame.
Well,
KJ or Flame.
We're making our way through this.
Well, I'm just saying, give another comparison. It's not fair.
Let's just okay. Nobody's cut yet. We added John Rubin.
Actually, we cut Social Club.
We cut
Social Club. Yeah.
John Rubin, yay or nay?
I keep him. Okay. I keep him and KJ.
Yeah,
okay.
Same. I'm with Josh. Keep both of them.
Okay. All right. So John's made it. KJ's on the bubble over there. He's sitting there. Okay, who's next, Johnny?
He's on the bubble.
Petty D.
The list is too big now. He gets cut.
I have no qualms about that.
Yeah, I have no problems either. But he's gone.
I don't know his stuff, so.
Yeah, let's cut him.
Derek Minor. Who? Derek Minor. The one and only. Derek Minor.
I cut him.
Cut.
He's gone.
Bizzle.
Cut.
Keep.
I'd say cut.
I'm cutting him.
He's gone.
Toby Mac.
So I didn't even think he was an option because he's not a rapper.
Chris's face.
Disagree.
He was gone. That was good.
I say cut.
Cut.
Who?
Toby Mac.
Yeah, cut.
You know why we should cut him?
Yeah.
We should cut him on this premise. Oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? He because the dude is straight Illuminati.
That's a good reason to cut, as well as that he sucks.
Hey, did he do that song before Soul Junk or after?
No, that Glenn Galaxy wrote that song.
That Soul Junk record came out long before.
Not long.
Okay, we cut Toby Mac.
Yeah, he's cut.
Yeah.
K to the second letter.
K2S? Are you adding K2S?
No. KB.
KB.
On this list,
I mean, George would make a real big case for KB.
I know he would, and he's good, but I'd say cut. I'm going with cut.
I say bubble because I got to see who's left.
Because there's we don't have many spots left, right?
Three. We'll see.
We don't have many spots.
I circled him as a bubble.
All right, bubble.
Okay.
Tadashi.
Cut.
Cut.
Yep.
Cut.
Trip Lee.
Cut.
Trip Lee. Tejas.
Trip is no longer big. Trip does not have.
He's just dropping a new record, but
I'm gonna say cut.
I mean, his voice is I think it's way better than Minio's voice. So
I agree
for
with that.
comparing 116 artist, Tripoli is voice is better.
Over
Andy's probably a better rapper, just skill wise, but I mean,
Trip's cut.
you know what we could do? We could just put a 116 slot and just throw
them all in one slick.
Oh, yeah, they all one slot on this.
That's such a cop out. That's such a cop out.
Well, yeah, but they all sound the same, so it might as well be.
Flame.
I would say early Flame, probably big because of his ties with cross movement at the time.
And he sued Katy Perry. Let's not forget that.
That's right.
And
he won, didn't he?
He did win because if you guys don't know, I mean, this was
do it up, Chris.
Did he kiss a girl in White?
Do it up, Chris. Do it. Blast from the past. Here we go.
Yeah,
give him the trivia. People are probably not aware.
Well, so this is the track that Flame came out with. Okay, so it actually features Lecrae, and it features this guy named John Riley. And there's this really awesome band. They're called Riley. They're not hip hop whatsoever, but they became me and my wife's favorite band. And you know what? Our son is named Riley because we actually fell in love with that name by watching the band Riley. So this was the song that when Flame dropped this song, it was probably the biggest song in Christian hip hop for like years. It was way bigger than Jesus Music of Lecrae's. So like in that little era where probably none of us really liked Christian hip hop much, this track was like huge. And when Katy Perry dropped her song called Dark Horse featuring Juicy J of the 3-6 Mafia, it's one of the most satanic videos. It's that Egyptian video. And you guys probably know what the song Dark Horse sounds like, but they slowed down the beat to this song, One in Court. This was the track. It's called Joyful Noise. It was like, it's an iconic beat. And
you know what it is? I love it.
Yeah, they slowed it down. That's right.
Yeah, they slowed all this down.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Go for him.
Been a Christian quite a few years. Victory.
But the best part of the song is
air where the Father
when Riley comes on.
Throne, no, it's more.
He plays the
But after
guitar.
our redemption, yes, he
And
take a chair. Greater than the angels, named superior to theirs. This is Hebrews chapter 1, lift your chair.
And right here, I'm just sampling it real quick.
Have you heard of Riley, Johnny?
No.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was Chris's son.
Yeah,
And it's their
it is
favorite
my
band.
son.
It's his favorite band.
But they were live. They were one of the best. Clearly one of the best like live bands. Dueling violins. Absolutely awesome. So
I only know him because Chris used to talk about him all the time.
oh yeah, we brought them into our church. They were really cool people. So
Cool.
okay.
All right.
Flame.
We're getting somewhere here. We got
Yeah,
30
really
minutes.
Flame
30
is
minutes.
out.
I mean,
Flames on the bubble.
that's Flame's claim to fame.
There you are.
I
Canon.
never liked Flame musically. Wasn't
We're on
my-
Canon now. We're on Canon.
Canon, fast rapper.
So
I mean,
good.
if they're going to throw a fast rapper in there,
He's
I
so
would
good.
say. I mean,
Canon's one of the best.
I like Heath McNeese, and
Sure.
you know,
Talk
he's
about
good.
another white dude.
That's another right guy. But you know, everybody's gonna watch this and be like, George left, and then they got super white after they left. All the rappers they nominated were all white. You know, obviously Heath McNeese isn't gonna make the list, but he's pretty talented dude. So shout out to Heath. He came to Doug's church with Plato, and that was super fun. And he was super gracious to all of the teens we brought. He did a blend of pretty much everything and just hung out.
So does he stay or go?
Who?
Cannon.
Cannon? Oh,
I say go. 'Cause
I wasn't-
I've never
You
heard
were,
of
I know you went way off on a tangent.
Cannon's
So good.
Cannon is very talented.
He's very talented.
I mean, my favorite Cannon verse is on the 116 Trip Lee remix. It's like 8 minutes long, and Cannon like steals the show.
Love it.
It's a very hard song to find if you don't have like the Trip Lee bonus track.
Where would I get
Where
that
could
from?
maybe someone find that, Chris? If they were maybe looking for hard to collectibles and hard to find items, where could they find stuff like that?
I do not have that in.
But where could they find collectibles and hard to find items?
Find it, Johnny. Where can they find used and new like items?
You tell me, my friend, because I like to echo it.
Yeah, because he forgets. It's bornagainsound.com.
Bornagainsound.com.
Okay, so Cannon staying or going? Because again, it's top 20. I think he should go.
Impact is not long enough, and he's
I
on
agree.
a shade track.
He's good. He's talented, but yeah, okay. So we scrap him. Scrap Cannon.
DJ Maj.
Scrap him for top 20. He's awesome, but I'm going to say.
Think of all the people that he's brought together.
The mixtapes that he's done.
True. Mixtapes. It's a good point.
The mixtapes are.
I had to go off of talent. Grits' other DJ, Rick Robbins.
Oh, DJ Form was, yeah. I mean,
how many mixtapes does he have?
And he's Kelly Clarkson's DJ.
How many mixtapes does he have? Good point, Johnny.
Underground.
Johnny for the steal. That's right. How many mixtapes does he have, Doug? Johnny was asking how many mixtapes he has.
He probably has a lot because he did it underground. He didn't do it.
He does, and I got him.
Oh, you do it?
I do, yeah. But DJ Maj, as a rapper, obviously isn't going to make the list.
No.
As a influential
As an
person.
influencer person, yeah. But yeah, this is top 20 guys. Yeah.
But he's not
You need
terrible.
room.
He's not a bad rapper.
No.
And everybody respects the crap out of DJ Maj.
He'd be in the top like
Yeah.
30, 40 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he brings people together. Plus, I brought him to my church too. So, Maj is super cool. And if I showed you my phone, I actually have DJ Maj's cell phone number on my phone. So I'm not going to go with.
I would say
call him and see if he deserves to be
I
on the
would
list.
say Madge falls in with Grits because it was Forum, Madge, Notaverbs, Coffee, and
And they brought in this other dude at the same time, and he was the background. He was the choreographer dancer for people like Aaliyah, and they brought this young guy in. He became part of Diverse City, and he was part of the Factors of the Seven, and that was Sean Locke. And so they were all instrumental together. Sean Locke is, even though he's not like just a rapper, he's a singer, he's amazing, but he's such a good guy too. If he sees me somewhere, he knows exactly who I am, and we talk for like 30 minutes per time. So
if I wouldn't get sued, I have a live Grits album that I did back in '98, I think it was, and I think I should put it out underground because it's one of the most amazing hip hop shows I had ever been a part of.
So KB and Flame on the bubble. If we pop those bubbles and keep them on, that would give us 20.
No.
I don't know if I could do that. I mean, so if we're talking about skill, there's so many other people, Serene Poems, Sherlock Poems, LA Symphony.
Yeah, but we can't go through the whole litany of Christian hip hop.
Yeah, we can't do that.
These were the guys who were nominated, so theoretically, Flame and KB would be the two ones that were on the bubble that would then make the list.
And you guys realize that we still need to put these in order.
I think we have.
So wait a minute. What's the list if we kept those?
Your top in no particular order: Soup the Chemist, Play-Doh, Journey Big, Lecrae, The Truth, Manchow from Marzil, Mr. Solo, Andy Mineo, The Ambassador, Braille, Manifest, Dirt, T-Bone the Bony Soprano, Pigeon Jimmy John the New James Bond, NF, Grits, KJ52, John Rubin, KB, Flame.
That's a good list.
It's pretty good. Not bad.
So who's cut from that list?
Everybody that I've scratched out.
Okay, so who are the other people? No, who are the other people that are on the bubble?
No, that's it.
That's it. We popped all the bubbles. That's it. He's got the list.
That's
20.
the
list.
20.
Now we can start sorting them because we've got like about 20 minutes to go. So now we have to sort that list 1 to 20, which is going to be a nightmare.
No way.
No,
way.
let's do it quickly.
Let's
Okay.
go, quick.
If KB and Flame are on your bubble, they're 20 and 19.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, do we? Yeah, but see the impact long term for 10 years. Did Dirt have that as big of an impact as those guys have, currently right now? And theirs is still going. Dirt is no longer in, his impacts in a smaller circle.
Well, one could say that about Manchild and
just to let you guys know, like we got all these artists. Like in Canada, we didn't get any Jeremiah Dirt in Canada. Do you know, Johnny? Do you know in any of the stores? I don't remember ever seeing the name.
No.
Yeah. Just let you know, he didn't have distribution in Canada.
Yeah, he did. Had to have.
I'm telling you right now, there was only one distributor, CMC, and they distributed all Christian hip hop
didn't
to
get
all the
any-
stores. I worked in Christian retail. and I never-
If they had syntax, if they had any cross movement, if they had any of that.
No. I don't. I mean solo. I mean like solo albums, or like
No, I'm saying he was on the same distribution as all of them.
I owned every single Christian album that was a hip hop album that came out to any of the Christian stores that we had here, and I do not have his album.
97 and 2000.
Plague and War to Restore the one.
I bought everything. Those years, I literally bought everything that was on the shelf. I didn't care what genre. I just bought it. I was addicted to Christian music.
Yes, sir.
Plague and War to Restore. That's where you start.
Okay.
That's
I would say either way, Dirt's long-lasting.
Oh, I'm not debating that. I'm just letting you know, basically, on our
but
Canada landscape, why we don't know Dirt in
I
our.
would have to if
You guys decide. You guys decide.
Dirt
We'll go with it.
and we love Dirt. Dirt's our friend. Dirt.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Yeah, we'll go with it.
I got to put Dirt at number 20.
I would disagree just because I actually toured with them.
Josh
and dealt with the album sales.
Yeah, I know, but so we can't. I mean, we're trying not to have nepotism here.
It's not nepotism.
You're clearly bringing nepotism. If you toured with KB or
no, tell me what one of these guys drew 10,000 people to Cornerstone to watch them, or Tom Fest, or any of the other festivals.
So if we're talking about KB and we look at like 116 when they sell out arenas of,
I'm talking not opening up for. I'm not saying opening up for Lecrae.
Well, was Dirt the only person on?
Dirt was headlining the tents.
He headlined what tent? The main tent?
The encore stages.
Yeah, it wasn't the main tent.
There was a main stage.
Okay, so we're talking about one show.
We're talking about almost 10 years of doing it.
Okay, so where are we putting them?
Back to back.
Who's number 20 then?
You guys know I used to rap, right?
Because if we're talking about KB, we're talking about KB or Triple E.
I never heard of KB.
Right? I would put Triple E over KB, to be honest with you, and he's already gone from the list.
It's true.
I'd love to hear it.
They play my songs in the clubs. Seriously, it's good.
If we're gonna pick one more 116 artist, it's got to be Triple E. If we're not gonna choose Tadashi, we're not gonna choose KB. It's got to be Triple E. He was the dude sitting in the car when I'll say this, when Lecrae's Jesus Music track came on, I was like only listening to
down.
Yeah, I only listened to certain type of hip hop at that time. So I was like, this is not like my thing. And then all of a sudden when Triple E came on, I was like, this dude's he's special. There's something about this guy. And so like if
special, like handicapped or like really good?
Like he's really good. Like there was something to him really good.
Okay, why are we talking about Triple E when he was?
If we're gonna have to pick 116,
I thought Johnny just keeps it all centered. Like
if we got to pick one more 116 artist,
we're not. We have 20.
We're not picking anyone.
We have 20. We're not picking anymore. We're done.
No, we're talking about KB or the Flame.
No, they're
not.
Are you putting
on the list?
They're not on the list.
Yes, they are.
They are on the list.
But if we got to put one of those on the list, I'm cutting KB and putting Triple E over him.
Oh, I see.
I'm taking KB off of the list completely and putting Triple E on the list.
How can you just like automatically take it off when we put them on together?
We took them off.
You're
putting them back on.
You can't just soul take someone off.
This is how Chris wins.
I'm going to take Super Chemist off. See how you guys feel.
Does it? He cheats.
Once
Every time.
Triple E was crossed off. He's not being uncrossed. I don't have an erasable pen.
Triple E is gone. Sorry, Chris.
Okay, all right. Are you guys okay with putting KB over Triple E?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I've never listened to either, so
I'm actually not. I would go Triple E over KB personally.
Okay. Anybody else?
I like Triple E.
You just need one more, and then it rules.
I would take Triple E over Flame.
Okay.
There we go. So then put Triple E back on. Take KB off.
Or take Flame off.
Okay, Flame's gone then.
Okay.
Gosh.
Okay. Is KJ on?
Yes, he's already on. We're past that. We're moving. We're in the top 20 now.
We're in the top 20. We're like
who is number 20 on the list?
So we're putting Triple E at number 20.
Oh, we're never getting this done. Part 1. Part 2 will be in 2 weeks.
Triple E number 20. Number 19. Who are we doing?
Doug is angry. He's throwing his camera.
Okay, number 19. Johnny.
Dirt.
I'm okay with it.
Number 19. What'd you say?
Dirt.
If he's on the list, I'm cool with it.
All right.
Okay.
So there we go.
Whatever.
Next one.
I give up. I don't give a crap anymore.
Okay, then we're moving him down to 20.
We're at 18. We're at 18.
No, hold on. I'm moving him down to 20 then.
I mean, actual album sales and actual legacy doesn't matter, and ministry doesn't matter. We're throwing it all out the window because
that's like
Reach
saying
Records
the
in
other people don't have
116 needs to be at the
it's
top.
like saying they don't. That's like saying they don't have ministries too. Because who are you going to put above Dirt? Are you going to put NF above lower than Dirt?
I will put NF where he duly needs to be.
Oh my goodness. That's delusional. Highly delusional if you're going to put like Dirt above NF.
I didn't. Did I say that?
No. But if you did, I said you'd be highly delusional.
NF deserves to be in one of the top spots because of where he's at now, what his ministry is, and how he's taking a beating for his Christianity.
Okay. All right. So who we got at 18? We got Dirt. Okay. We got
Dirt is number 20. KB is number 19. Triple E number 18.
Nah, I disagree.
Okay.
Let's just keep going. We'll come back to 20 and 19. We'll just keep going. Let's keep going. We'll never ever get. So what are we at? 17 now? 16?
17.
What is it right now?
Okay, you got Sup the Chemist, Plato, Journey Big, Lecrae, The Truth, Manchild, Mr. Solo, Minio, Ambassador, Braille, T-Bone, Pigeon, NF, Grits, KJ, Ruben.
Okay, I'm gonna say KJ here.
You're putting, and this is the argument.
We're talking about number
KJ
18. Number 18, KJ52.
No, Tripoli was 18.
Oh, okay. All right.
17 is KJ52.
17 is KJ52.
So Ruben's going to go ahead of KJ.
Yes.
Yes. Josh.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
All right, so that's it's settled.
Okay.
All it takes is 3 people to agree, and that's
Yeah.
it. It's settled. So like we can keep moving. We don't have to have this big.
So does Ruben move in at 16, or is Ruben higher?
Who would be not? So we.
Who's before Ruben right now?
Well, lower tier we got T-Bone, John Rubin. We've got who else? Name some of the other
I mean,
names.
T-Bone should be above Ruben, in my opinion.
I mean, I had T-Bone as my number 1.
I know you did. It's insane.
It's not insane.
I'm saying I love it. I love T-Bone. I'm a huge fan. I just was like surprised.
Okay, I'm
I
okay
don't
with
think
putting John.
T-Bone is number 1.
I'm okay with putting John at number.
Doug is not happy at all. You shouldn't have divulged that, Johnny. Now you've really upset him.
Okay,
You guys got to understand. I've been in the Christian hip hop scene when it started.
Okay, we could put John. We could put Ruben at number 16. I'm okay with that.
Johnny lives hip hop every day of his life.
I would put Lecrae at 16 and John above
No
Lecrae.
way. No, not gonna happen. Crazy. I mean, you'll get ruled out, Doug. That's okay.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a CCM person. I don't like
Grits.
Grits.
Speaking of CCM,
Okay, Grits over John Rubin. What are we doing?
I would put Grits over Ruben.
yeah,
I would.
same.
Yeah.
John Rubin had 1 song, and I love John Rubin.
Guys, if 3 people agree, we just move on because it's the other people are overruled.
Okay.
They really can't
Okay.
have a discussion
All right.
unless you really want to try to
16.
convince them to change.
16, John Rubin. 1. Going 2. Johnny, 16.
I have Ruben at 16.
Doug, no. Robbie,
Yes.
Josh,
Yeah.
it's settled. Okay. Grits at number 15.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I don't think they deserve to be any higher. So I'm good.
You
Yes,
good?
yes. We need 3. One more. Yes, and that's it. Yay.
Yeah.
The yays take it.
Okay. I'm number 14, Andy Mineo.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm good.
And I say that because his first 2 albums were great,
And then he kind of.
and then I'm just not a fan of the rest of it.
You okay with that, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. This gets to move all the way back up because where were we putting Manifest? Manifest ain't that high.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, good call.
Okay,
20.
so Manifest was 20.
So we got to push them all up.
Manifest was our Canadian. Yeah, push them all up. He was our Canadian. Like
Our ode to Canada.
we
Yes.
threw a bone to him.
Come on, guys. Like, have a little bit of sympathy. We got Trudeau to deal with. Our country is just insane.
Hey, no,
Communist lockdowns are
I mean-
happening everywhere.
his grind is.
Oh, hardcore. Oh, yeah.
I
Nothing
mean,
but respect, man, for Manifest. Yeah.
But skill-wise, there's a lot of better guys. So.
that's true.
But again, we're not putting him at numbers
He's
7
been
or 8.
he's quite versatile. It's kind of like KJ though, because KJ did the hip hop thing, but he also did the rock thing. Manifest has done the same thing.
And he's better at rock than KJ is. By
And also, he's number 20. We're not putting him at like number 10 or 9.
okay. Yep. So we are on number 13 right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, number 13. We just put in Mineo.
Braille.
What are some of the other additions? Is Pigeon John top in the top 10? I don't think so.
Or
Andy Mineo?
he's on the cusp
Heck
of.
yeah.
On the cusp of.
Well, we just put in Andy Mineo.
I mean, I think Andy Mineo should be back at like
He is back.
19.
Oh,
We can't put. We can't. No, Mineo's got to be over those.
once we get the list formulated, though, we'll be able
Over
to kind of.
Grits, over KJ, over Ruben.
Yeah.
How?
Longer time and at number 1.
What number 1?
It's a 2-man show in Christian hip hop for around 10 years. It was Lecrae and Andy Mineo. and that 10-year run was more impactful.
It was it was impactful to what though? What did they impact?
If you're looking at if you're looking at youth group rappers like John Rubin, John was not leading thousands of people to like be super unashamed. I mean, I love John. I love him over him.
Yeah, but Andy Mineo is leading them to all be okay with being gay.
Not at that time. So
it doesn't matter. It's where he's at now.
Okay, so then let's look at John. Let's look at that last record where he said the S word like 5 times. Let's look at that, right? I mean, I loved the next record that he did where he did.
I mean, 99. I'd say 90% of the list. None of them are even walking with God anymore. Maybe even more than 90%.
Hey, that's not necessarily all 90%, but so okay, let's okay. Who's at 13? What are some of those other people, Johnny?
Braille.
Okay.
Ambassador.
Okay.
NF.
Okay.
Pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
T-Bone.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Solo. Manchild. The Truth.
I'm okay with moving the Truth out of the top 10.
I'm fine with that as well.
Is this a good place for the Truth?
Yeah, let's put the Truth in there.
Okay, number 13.
Are we at 12 now? Did we just do 13?
Pigeon can't break the top 10 just based on that criteria that we just said.
Yeah. So put Pigeon John next.
I would put Pigeon John next.
Yeah. So Pigeon John at 12.
Who's okay with Pigeon at 12?
I'm fine.
Josh?
Yeah, it seems good to me.
Okay. Have we put and this would be a good spot for is T-Bone making the top 10?
I think so.
Are we putting Braille here at number 11 then?
I put Braille down there, yeah. Over yeah.
So
T-Bone.
Braille is moving from 3 to 11.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we're doing good. We're wrapping it up here. This is good.
Okay.
We're literally down to the top 10 here.
Okay, number 10. Who's going at number 10? Somebody make a call.
Throw it out, Johnny.
Well, he just put Doug just said
I'd say T-Bone over.
So a guy who's been doing it since '93 to a guy who's been doing it since 2010, and
who's
really only got his big break.
Who's actually selling records?
He's selling records in the last 7 years.
True, but is that impact bigger than T-Bone's career impact?
Then,
especially mainstream wise, right?
I mean, mainstream, he's unbelievable. NF, I'm saying.
But nothing but respect for T-Bone right across the board. I think anybody in the hip hop industry would have some sort of level of respect.
The last mixtape that NF did, there's like 2 tracks on there that will be bigger than anything T-Bone probably ever did.
Sure. Okay. T-Bone at 10 then.
All right. I'm fine with that.
Does Mr. Solo stay at number 9?
Actually, I don't mind him at 9 then, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. And I mean, Gospel Gangsters, I mean,
classic.
Classic. I mean, he's passed away, so he's top 10 for sure. So let's do it.
What was his name? Anyone know his name?
Mr.
Thank you. The way Chris says it, Mr. Oh my goodness.
Okay, number 8.
Here's who you have left: Soup, Plato, Journey, Lecrae, The Truth, Manchild, NF, The Ambassador.
We moved to Truth. I thought we moved to Truth, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We did. So
to like 13 or something.
Well, that's not good because that means that we're going to be one short.
Okay, so
That makes it funner.
let's move them all down, and we're gonna
Yeah,
pick a new 20. Okay.
Okay. It'll be Social Club Misfits.
Or does KB make the list? So okay. All right. So we're at number 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Man-child.
Wait, who was number 8?
Mr. Solo. Or
Everybody.
the Ambassador.
Ambassador. Okay.
The Ambassador. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. 7 is what? Manchild?
7, Man-child.
Okay.
I think he should be further down the list.
I don't know how.
How do you not know how he's a heck of a lot better MC than
We're talking about a 10-year run. We have to go for 10 years. We have to go deep in. Marzell put out 3 records.
Journey?
How many solo
LPG.
Man-child records?
I mean,
Yeah, but LPG only put out 2.
But you're looking at Journey Big's career through Tunnel Rats, and then you'd be looking at Man-child through Deep Space 5. And because
you keep changing the rules on me, Chris.
I'm not changing the rules.
Yeah, because then if you're going to do that, then you got to look at Dirt's legacy.
No,
then you got to look at Soup the Chemist's legacy.
You're saying for a 10-year run, you're looking at those 3 Marzell's records, all of them classics, all of them great. But then you got 3 records, so you got to really look at his legacy within Deep Space 5. And so, yeah, does he get? So we got who's left? We got Man-child, we got Play-Doh. He's not over Play-Doh.
I don't know.
I mean, I think you're going to have a fight on that one, but maybe not.
Man-child's got a lot of solo records out.
Make your pitch, Doug.
He did all those. But are any of those solo records classics? They're good, but they're not classics. Yes, he's a Red Bull freestyle champion. Yeah, he's that. Okay, so who's left? Man-child, Play-Doh, Lecrae, Journey, Soup. Who's the other one left?
The Ambassador. NF.
No, NF. Ambassador's already on.
Oh, is he at 7?
He was at 8, I thought.
Yeah.
We got 2 minutes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we got to wrap this up.
I know, but see if we can do it in the next 5-10 minutes.
Yes. Okay, so NF, Play-Doh.
We're close.
Soup, Journey, Lecrae, Man-child, NF. No.
Journey Big.
Journey Big, yeah.
Soup, Play-Doh, Journey, Lecrae, Man-child, NF.
No, there has to be 7.
No, remember?
No.
We got to pick somebody at the end.
We have to pick someone.
Okay. So it's the top 6.
Top 6.
Top 6 right now.
Number 6. Who are you going with, Doug? Out of that list.
Personal opinion, Lecrae.
Okay. Josh?
I either go Lecrae or NF.
Okay.
NF's already. Don't we already have it?
No.
Where's
Oh, no,
he
we
at?
don't. You're right. I'm going to go. I don't know, man. It's so big. Both those guys are too big. Journey Big, bro. What was the other one? Play-Doh?
Soup, Play-Doh, Journey, Lecrae, Man-child, NF.
I'm going to go Man-child.
Johnny?
NF.
Okay. Doug, are you okay with NF being there?
I think NF should be over Lecrae. I think NF's going to be way bigger in the future.
Yeah,
I think Lecrae's lost his steam.
Recently.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I agree with that.
Yeah, I'll put Lecrae there.
Sure.
Okay, that's the majority wins.
That's gross.
I wouldn't have done that, but that's okay.
I mean, the biggest name in Christian hip hop, and he's number 6.
Yeah.
That's 11 albums, biggest crossover album.
I don't think he should be there, but it's all personal preference at this point. People are objectively looking at it. Lecrae honestly should be like number 1. There's not even a close comparison on how big he became. Like, he became the number 1 album in all of the US, not even on hip hop. I mean, hip hop artists can't even do that hardly.
Who's number 5?
I agree. I think that's the one that should be contested. I agree with you. I don't think he deserves NF or Lecrae don't deserve to be in like 4 or 5. I'm not saying they need to be number 1, but like they should be in the top 3 or 4.
I say it's Manchild, to be honest.
I said Manchild, before.
Yeah, it's Manchild. That's 2, Johnny.
I would pick Manchild at 6 and have Lecrae in your top 5.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that too.
And if you guys are paying attention, this is Sound Off.
All right, so your top 5.
All right, here we go. Let's do this.
Soup, Plato, Journey, Lecrae, NF.
Lecrae, NF, Journey, Soup, Plato.
So Lecrae number 1, NF number 2, and that's what you said.
No,
That's why you said it.
No,
in that order. All right,
no.
Doug's already. I agree with it. Let's do it.
Brother. I was counting down.
I know. I'm kidding.
Plato can do circles around both of those guys.
So Plato's in my opinion, Plato's he's even more skilled probably than NF. NF has a better
marketability,
a much better marketability.
And he's talented, guys. Don't dismiss the fact that he's incredibly intelligent.
I like NF, but
NF is talented. But if you had to really look at it objectively, I can't tell, if we're looking at historical impact on Christian hip hop, Soup the Chemist, the legacy of him really can't be touched. As much as Lecrae, I mean, there would be no Lecrae if there was no Soup breaking down doors. There would be no, NF if there wasn't all these other guys beforehand.
I don't think there would have been anybody had Soup not broken down the doors.
Right. I mean, and we didn't even talk about Piece 586. I mean, I would have put him on the list if it was my personal list, but those guys were so instrumental in everybody just breaking down these doors. And DC Talk too. I mean, not that they're the greatest when they were doing hip hop, but they really broke down the doors for a lot of these.
Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%.
So is Soup number 1?
That's my number 1.
I'm good with Soup at number 1 still. Doug?
I'm good at Soup.
I know Johnny and Robbie aren't.
Doesn't matter. Three.
It's 3. Majority rules. So
you gotta get this book.
They've already won it.
Oh, that is Through My Windows. Yeah, Soup the Chemist.
Nice. Okay, so it's already ruled on.
Okay.
Is Plato H number 2?
Oof.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good at Plato number 2.
I listen to Plato more than probably everybody on this combined.
So that's done then too.
No.
Oh. What was Chris going to say? Sorry.
But can we put him over Lecrae or for that impact? If we're moving Journey Big down, I mean, because we're not basing it, this was based on skill. So if we're moving Journey Big up,
I think Journey Big's at 5.
I mean, Journey released one solo record.
Yeah, I'm good with that. He should be 5.
Doug, 5. Journey Big.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, that's done.
I mean, skill wise,
First to say it.
So your 2, 3, and 4 is Lecrae, NF, and Plato.
well, now figure that
Wait,
out.
what was it? 2, 3, and 4.
Lecrae, NF, and Plato.
Number 2, Plato. Number 3, NF. Number 4, Lecrae.
You really hate Lecrae, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to say Lecrae over NF personally in that list, but I don't.
Put it in order then, Robbie. 2, 3, 4. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just listening to everyone else. I'm just saying personally.
No. Doug gave us his. Go with yours. 2, 3, 4. Where are you voting?
I'm gonna say Lecrae, 2, 3, NF, and then 4. What was it again?
Plato.
That's my list.
Josh.
I got 2 Plato, 3 NF, and 4 Lecrae.
Johnny.
Lecrae will be at 2. Plato will be at 3, and NF will be at 4.
That's great. We all have different lists. How the heck is this going to work?
I'm good. I'm good with Johnny's. Unfortunately.
I look at it like Lecrae
there's
has
a tie.
impact plus the crossover. Plato, who's been doing it longer than the other 2, and NF, who will be a future probably top 3, is not there yet.
I'm good with it. I'll go with it to make it easier and secure it because.
That is so weak.
Well, no, but you have a chance to state your case, but I do agree with that assessment, just non-biasedly looking at.
Okay, so if you're looking at Plato objectively, he's not.
I'm just moving NF. All I'm doing is moving
he's
NF.
Not signed to a major deal. He's not getting shows other than the shows that he gets on his own. Like, and mostly he does bars. He doesn't get on Christian festival dates any longer. I don't know if he wants to do that stuff or he's cool running in the circle in the lane that he is. But he just doesn't have that thing. Is his album, his Heart, Soul, and the Blood, Sweat, and Tears way better than some of the cookie cutter stuff out of the other 2 guys? I'll say absolutely. But then again, the reach that he's reaching now
is not what
it's not the and even when he was at the pinnacle of his height of, we'll go down Plato's pedigree, Deep Space 5, Ilharmonics, solo stuff, phonetic composition, winning MTV's The Cut. I mean, he is been around for a long time. I mean, besides Pigeon John, every record had a Plato feature. So he was that guy. Sonny from POD calls him the greatest Christian rapper ever. So the industry respects and knows what he does. It's just, he hasn't had that, because he's indie. I mean, he's indie nowadays, and he's been like that since he left. His 7 Spin, which was his last label he was on, I believe. So
I love that we have an indie artist in the top 3.
Yeah.
So I'm good with that. Doug, make a case that, and that's coming from somebody who would put him number 1 because I would listen to him over everybody else in this list.
Well, I'm looking at just sheer talent and legacy.
You don't think Lecrae's going to go down? So like 100 years from now,
Lecrae's going to go down because of what he sold, not what he did. He is he's talented, but he's not.
Did you not listen to the Church Clothes mixtapes when he actually did real hip hop? And you're like, yeah, this guy's talented.
I never, ever, ever liked Lecrae. Never. I think he's a biter. I think that he is.
But that's being biased, though. Like that's still being biased.
That's Johnny. I mean Robbie. Sorry,
I was going to say,
Yes,
wow.
sir.
I get the E's mixed up.
I've
been in the scene since the 80s.
I know. You've been in a long time.
Involved in Christian hip hop since pretty much its formation. And what I look at and what I think is legacy, what I think is actually good, what is actually talented might not be everybody's cup of tea.
Sure.
But when you look at the sheer fact of if we're going to put Soup at 1 and his legacy, you have to have Plato at number 2.
Don't you think that Lecrae is the? I mean, so
I think Lecrae is going to go down as a wishy-washy.
But don't you think
we have a legion of
we're Soup walking nowadays, right? I mean, come on.
I get that, but I'm saying we have the doors that had to be broken down in the Christian hip hop.
Yeah, but somebody had to do it.
Would not ever be where they are at.
But Lecrae broke down the next level, and
Rapzilla broke down the next level for Lecrae.
He broke that next level down. Of pushing it to the mainstream, which did kick off the next set of artists, Social Club, NF. They're all signed to major deals because of what Lecrae was able to do. NF became bigger than Lecrae, but even though NF was signed first to a major deal.
I don't see. If I had it my way, Lecrae would be at 20. So it wouldn't even be a question for me.
Okay,
I would put Triple E over.
Josh, make a case for what you want to say.
I'm not that big of a Lecrae fan, so I would listen to Plato anytime. But I mean, I don't know. I get what you guys are saying about impact.
See, the one thing is that's different about me and Josh. I think is that we are the underground. We will always go with the underdog underground artists before we would anything else because
that hurts, Doug. That really hurts.
Yeah, we got that when you didn't go with Imperials. Okay, we understood that loud and clear.
Yeah, but that hurts, Doug. I mean, I'm telling you what my
Chris, you're still a CCMer at heart.
Yeah, but it's my personal preference. I'm just looking at it, objectively.
Yeah, you have to look at it that way. You have to look at it overall for like if it was going to be voted on by
I'm trying not to put my personal opinions. I'm trying to look at it, from a realistic standpoint of going, if Plato was sitting here on the show, would he say his legacy is bigger than Lecrae's?
No.
I'll text him. We'll find out.
And that is it.
But
Johnny,
you show us the phone? Can you show us your phone?
You have his number and you didn't invite him to the show.
I don't have his number. No.
Okay, Doug has his number and he didn't invite him to his show.
That's not even true. I mean, I do have it, but I'm not showing it on the air. But I invite everybody.
Okay,
no one wants to do the show because they know we fight.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so here is your.
Who's going to ever come on the show? All we do is fight.
Here is your top 20.
Okay.
Number 1, Soup. Number 2, Lecrae, much to Doug's chagrin. Number 3, Played to the H, Plato. NF, number 4, Journey Big at 5, Manchild at 6, The Ambassador at 7, Mr. Solo 8, T-Bone, the Bony Soprano 9, Braille, rounding out your top 10. Pigeon Jimmy John, number 11, The Truth 12, Minio 13, Grits 14, KJ 15, Tripoli 16, KB 17, Dirt 18, Manifest 19, and number 20 is open for whoever you want to throw onto your top 20 list.
There we go. Let's do it. Let's wrap it. It's already 15 minutes after the hour now.
I know you got a schedule to keep, Robbie.
Who's
hot tub time?
That's right. Jump in the hot tub. It's going to be nice.
Do the show in the hot tub next time.
Yeah, no.
Please.
I was
maybe one time, yeah.
I was going to do the show outside, but it's like 95 degrees
Okay,
outside.
stay on topic. Stay on top. Who are we picking? Who did we cut?
Social Club, Piece 586, Maj, Red Cloud.
I'm gonna have to go with Carmen. I'm gonna have to go with Carmen there.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think 20. You leave it open. 20's open to interpretation. Whoever you want.
I'm open. I'm good with Piece 586.
I like that.
Yeah, I am too with that one.
Me too.
All right,
It
there's
is.
the rule.
It's
That's it.
586.
That's it. It's in.
I'm putting Cannon in there.
But the funny thing is, Robbie, when I looked up, top Christian hip hop lists, Carmen was on like 4 of them.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, he did a few raps. That's funny.
Well, he was with T-Bone a lot.
Yes, that's right.
Well, guys, that was exhausting. And
It was good. It was fun.
Remember when Robbie's like, we're like an hour into this. We're gonna get this done.
We did get it done. Actually, it's only 15 minutes after the second hour.
Yeah. All right, guys. I
That was
think
good, man. It was fun.
Not everybody agreed, and I don't think the people who
When did we ever agree?
Yeah.
Never.
We had one person watching.
They're just like, oh my goodness, these guys ever going to figure out a top 20? Can we actually do it in less than 2 hours ever?
Yeah,
we got to go with the Illuminati symbols within hip hop.
That's right.
Yeah, next time, that will get us the watchers. No, this will be a good one for all the people who love this topic. This topic was not for everybody. We understand that. But we have to do it because it's something that we wanted to do. And you know what? We're really doing this for us anyways. And hopefully somebody else enjoys.
Send it to Track Stars and see what they think of it.
Oh, Track Stars will hate it.
Rapzilla.
Yeah,
Rapzilla. Yeah, let's send it to Rapzilla.
Yeah.
See what they think.
Maybe they will feature it.
Maybe.
And
they'll say, what do these 5 white guys know about hip hop?
That's a good point.
I've been listening to hip hop since 1984, dude. So
right. I mean,
I know we're doing like a best of hip hop, and like there's nobody other than this white guys.
I have hung out with Chief Rocker, Busy Bee. I have hung out with Grandmaster Kaz, KRS-One. I know. I've been around.
Okay,
Robbie,
Josh,
let me put KRS-One.
I got street
No,
cred.
KRS-One's got weird spirituality, man. He's kind of out there.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't put BBJ on the list. You guys remember BBJ? But he's on the KRS-One album with T-Bone as well on that Spiritual Minded gospel record.
That album scared me so much.
One.
Yeah.
Hey, we forgot like 12th Tribe. We forgot D-Boy. We forgot.
There's so many.
There's so many.
Fitty Futuristic.
We New Wine. We forgot New Wine.
Oh, Little Rascal. We got that's the one thing I forgot. We were going to get a Grapetree. We had to get one Grapetree artist on the top 20, and we failed. We failed.
Little Rascal.
He's still going.
Grapetree was absolutely overall horrific. It was like the worst possible music overall. There was really only like maybe 1 to 2 artists out of their entire roster.
But they sold.
They did. They sold like crazy.
When I was a music buyer for a Christian bookstore,
I was working retail too. We bought it all.
And every time we would buy like 20 copies of each album, they were gone within a second.
Yep. I think it was the covers. I think it was because of the cool covers. It was like that West Coast, like it was all in. People just buy it.
They were the masterpiece of Christian hip hop.
That's true. But boy, it was not good. I bought it all too, and it was no good.
Hey, Prime Minister.
New Wine. That's who by the way, Johnny, remember I said, who was the guy with the low voice? It was New Wine. I couldn't think of it the other day.
Oh my gosh.
Those are my 2 favorite. We're Little Rascal and New Wine out of Grapetree. That was it. Other than that, all the other ones were garbage.
Wasn't it New Wine that hooked up with Evander Holyfield?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was called the Real Deal Holyfield record label.
We forgot Remnant Militia.
A lot of really good.
There's lots. There's lots.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, we didn't all the mega groups, they from Cross Movement to LA Symphony to Deep Space 5, Tunnel Rats, they all super talented people all around the board. So when people said it was terrible, it wasn't terrible. It was way ahead of its time. And I think the 90s stuff, there's much more talent than the cookie cutter stuff that even comes out today. I'm not saying people are terrible. It's just it's not the talent level. There was a different level of talent. No
We
internet.
should do like a top. We should do like a top 20 of some genre that like none of us are really familiar with for the most part, like R&B or like like we should pick something and then just see how that goes. When we're not so biased, we're like, I have no clue, but we just have to look at the
Southern
objectively.
gospel.
Yes.
Yeah, like something like that. That'd be a wild show because we'd be like,
Blues
I have no
Brothers,
idea.
easily top 3.
Imperials, dude, back in.
The Gaither vocal band.
The Gaither vocal band. Boy, that I worked retail. There would be a lineup every show. Like every time they would release something, there'd be like a lineup out the door. Boy, did that sell.
The reason why is because Robbie keeps talking. That's why we're over the time.
Let's get out of here then, guys. Night.
Okay, fine. See,
I think that was it, guys. Yeah. So thank you guys so much.
I was kidding.
Josh,
what do you guys think about a top 25?
I was glad you're on.
Thank you.
Let's revisit this in about 5 years and see what happens.
All right.
Our children will be like, "What are you guys talking about?"
We're talking about the 90s, the early 90s. What was the 90s?
They're like, "Is that when dinosaurs walked the earth?"
See, that would have been easier. We did top 20 of the 90s. That would have been a lot easier.
Side note, Robbie made fun of me today because I have a landline.
You still have a landline?
He has one. He called me from it. I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm like, because it came up all strange. He's like, I'm on my landline. I'm like, you have a landline?
Johnny, I don't think anybody in America has a landline.
Thank you,
Josh.
Josh.
Josh have a landline.
I prefer it. That's what I like
buddy.
to talk on. I'm not going to put that cancer-giving cell phone on my ear.
Wow. I'm like surprised. I don't know really anyone else that has a landline.
I'm talking about it tomorrow on my show.
Are you talking about it tomorrow? You should,
Heck
because
yeah.
it's so funny, dude.
Robbie, do you use?
No, but the funny, it's a cordless too. It's like, what are the cordless with the?
Do you use an earpiece, Robbie?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Dirk
Well,
does.
What's that?
He called me the other day, and he was on some kind of earpiece. I couldn't hear. He was in some store, and I'm like, "What? Are you being shot at? I don't know what's going on." He's like, "I'm talking through an earpiece." I go, "No one does that anymore. Put the phone to your ear." But yeah, I'm about dial-up landlines.
All right, guys. Good show. Awesome time.
Yeah, it was
It's a blast as usual. It's always fun to go back and forth. And
it would have been
get
so
into the
much
mix.
fun if we had George on, because he
I
would
know.
have been the opposite of all of us.
I want to know.
which
I
would-
want to
We
know.
could have got all that insider information.
Oh,
with the
George would have hated
propaganda.
me.
I want the propaganda.
Yeah, we didn't even put propaganda on the list.
You know why? Because George left and he didn't dish out the info. So you know what? Propaganda, you're out.
Because I would have added propaganda to the list. So,
Well, George would have kept him in. So
yeah, he's probably the most artistic hip hop artist by far.
it's the only propaganda I like, to tell you the
Chris
truth.
has a chance to go sit down with him and help interview him, but he's not going to do it.
Why don't you do it, Doug?
I am.
No, you're not. Let's see, Doug.
I'm working on it. I'm going
Doug's
to audio feeds, and we're staying at the same hotel.
Yeah.
So I've been in touch.
Now who's talking, Johnny? Now who keeps talking?
Yeah.
No, babe, they're still talking. No, we're just going to stay here forever. I'm kidding. She's not there.
All right, guys. Hey, this has been Sound Off. Thank you guys so much for being here. We will check you guys in a couple weeks. Hopefully a fun topic that you guys like and enjoy this time. And we will see you guys real soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, everyone. Night.
Love you.
The breath in my lungs just can't hold me. No man. Start a revolution with no man control. Start a revolution with the breath in my lungs. Sound off.